welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for another episode of Princesses of Skysea. We are back with the full cast and crew. This week we have Kai, aka Stonefly Kai. We have Natalie, aka Chaotic Rogue. We have Sam, Harley's Armory. We have Keith from Material Components, and myself, me, Mike from unMadeGaming. This is the last stream of the week, guys, because tomorrow morning I'm going to Gen Con. So if you're going to Gen Con, come see me, say hi, give me a hug, give me a high five, whisper sweet nothings in my ear, whatever you want to do. Just come see me, say hi, we'll get a selfie, do all that fun stuff. Come to my panel. It's going to be dope. It's Friday. It sounds like it's Friday. It's probably Friday at 3 p.m., I think. You can buy tickets somewhere. I'll send you a link. Ask me for it. That being said, if you guys want to support the channel, please go check us out on Patreon. If you want to join the conversation, join us over on Discord. And if you look down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see that I put the wrong bar there. But when I put the right one there, it'll say something different, like Twist of Fate. The Twist of Fate bar, when that fills, Keith gets to inject a Twist of Fate into the game that negatively affects us in some kind of way. But the other benefit to that bar is every dollar raised towards that bar goes directly back into these wonderful players here. So if you guys want to help support the cast, that is the best way to support these lovely shiny faces that come here for you every week, dress up, and play pretend. And with that, we'll turn things over to Keith to make up a recap on the spot. Keith?
Previously on Princesses of Skysea. What happened last week? I don't even know. That was a long time ago. So you guys stopped in the first week. Vesper's sister, by the name of Evensong, a fellow princess who had kind of disappeared into the Hyperwoods. She had snuck into the room of Princess Dahlia, I think it was, which was Honey's sister, and stole some memories from her as a newly inducted memory vampire, just as Wesley is, played by Mike. She had stolen some memories from Dahlia and was attempting to escape with the help of some laser wolves. So you guys dispatched the laser wolves and managed to wrestle Evensong back onto the other side of the portal just as it was closing. And we left off session 1 with Queen Claudia of the Badger Queendom, arriving with great disappointment and frustration at these random strangers having snuck into her castle. And so then last week, you managed to convince Queen Claudia not to imprison you and instead to imprison Evensong, who she believes to have tried to attack her daughter or do harm to her daughter. And so you guys questioned Dahlia for a short time and found that there was some kind of blank in her memory, that she had wandered into the Hyperwoods, started writing some bad poetry, started listening to some Badger boy bands, and had a blank in her memory that was stolen by the vampire. By Evensong. So you investigated found a diary of hers, and managed to find kind of the memory, the blank memory, which was that she had wandered into Hyperwoods and seen a temple of some kind that she had conveniently not described anything about. But that memory was stolen. And so you went down to the dungeon to speak with Evensong about why that memory was stolen and what she was up to. She didn't remember Vesper, her own sister, at all, to her dismay. And you guys managed to learn that there's some kind of big plot afoot that she's a part of. And that she believed that she'd already accomplished her mission by stealing this memory, and that nothing could be done about it. And then she started to die, started to be kind of affected by some kind of strange kill switch from the Hyperwoods. And so in a quick thinking moment, Wesley remembered a moment in time when he was suffering a similar fate before the group of Vespers can, the Amazon ladies of the Amazon Queendom, and remembered that there could possibly be a way to kind of circumnavigate this fate by taking another life. And so a prisoner in the cells, Sir Pantor, the snake criminal, was dragged forth, and the virus was transferred into him, and he suffered a terrible fate off camera to keep it a PG rating, I guess. And
I don't even know if he did. I think he might have suffered his fate live before a studio audience.
This is all coming back to me now, and I'm like, oh yeah, we are not that good.
Yeah, you guys made me kill a guy. You remember that part? Remember the part where you all encouraged sad good boy Wesley, the adorable vampire, to kill a man?
I intimidated you
into killing a man. Yeah, that was your pep talk.
My sister. I did it like really well too, if I remember.
Yeah.
Monsters.
No.
Poppy's like, I'll hold him down with chains. Don't worry about it. It'll make it real easy to murder. I'm like, great. I was like, honey, please stop me from murdering. You're like, no, I have just the perfect target for you. Murder this guy. I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I don't like snakes.
Yes. And this was the bounty that you had just brought back.
Yep.
So you saved the sister, and potentially can figure out some way of ridding her of the virus, though that would certainly complicate things for Wesley. There's no known cure as of the moment, but who knows? And so you guys set off to journey to Goddess Palm, which is the site of the stationary portal into the Hyperwoods that Dahlia had traveled into, and which is kind of a large palm-like stone structure with the portal at the top. And upon arriving, saw Luna. That's a different character name, isn't it? Aren't you Poppy?
Oh, I'm Poppy. Yeah, Poppy. Whoops.
Okay.
That was
Are
my
you?
screen.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sorry. Pay no heed to the man behind the curtain. Princess Poppy, peering into the depths of the Hyperwoods portal, recognized a figure that could be none other than her own mother.
Oh.
Mysteriously traveling in the midst of the Hyperwoods, wearing a cloak with the characteristic fawn horns, holding it aloft, though she has slipped into the midst of the woods. And that's where you guys left off. You're a little distance away from the Goddess Palm, and there are several burrow warden guards standing around the base of the hand, and an unfamiliar blue-skinned human manta ray figure who is also there. But first, the theme song plays. Right? The familiar ukulele opening chord. And we all dab. We all feel it.
We don't do that. We don't do that.
That was not even a proper dab. I don't even know how to do the real thing.
I draw the lines at dabbing.
I just imagine there's like a lineup of all of our characters and we dab at the exact same time. That's just what happens.
Yes.
No. Except Wesley.
Except when... So then Vesper smacks him and tries to make him do it.
And he just like falls. The way he falls and flails is a dab. You're like, you got me. You got me.
He does that thing that was really popular a couple of years ago that was like, it looked like you were like revving up a motorcycle or something.
Oh, this thing?
Talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. He can do that
Soldier Boy.
Yeah, that Soldier Boy dance. Yeah.
I don't know why I know this.
Yeah, that's the one.
Or the Vossi Bop.
What?
The Vossi Bop.
Is that what that's called?
Oh no, that's a British
Oh,
thing.
okay, cool. I don't know what that one is either, but I'm not for it. I'm not for all those things. Those words you said. Oh god.
So
Yes.
there's a forest. They haven't noticed us yet, right?
Right. It's not so much a forest. It's kind of a cliff edge. This hand is kind of on the edge of this cliff that looks out over nothingness, right? These are all kind of these floating islands. So this thing is kind of jutting out. This is sticking out from, you guys traveled through like some underground region, and then this is like a cliff face that's sticking out from the kind of underside of the floating island. So you're in the midst of the clouds in many ways. Like this is the bottom kind of part of the island. So it's as you can see on the battle mat, there's obscuring mists, which are actually the clouds around you. But you all know that below those clouds is a long plummet down to the surface of the planet of Umdaar, which is beneath the floating islands of Skysea, because everything's weird. So that's the situation.
I did get a weird question on like YouTube or something, or Reddit, and they were like, so it's like Umdaar is like the planet, and they're like floating islands, but they're underground in the floating islands, and there's a river somewhere. And I'm like, yeah, all the things you said are correct. There's a river somewhere, there's woods, there's floating islands, and we were under the floating islands inside the... It's like a... Shut up.
Yeah, I don't really understand it. It doesn't really matter.
We figured it out. Whatever. I believe we have a picture of this
people my mom is with, do they look shady?
So she was kind of on her own. She was like inside the portal. Sorry. So she was like inside the portal in the Hyperwoods, and traveling alone. And then kind of at the base of the hand outside the Hyperwoods, there's several of the burrow wardens, the like badger guards, right? Who look like they're like standing watch or something like that, and there's someone who seems to be maybe arguing with them. This blue-skinned manta ray figure. Does that clarify?
Yeah, it does. Except one thing: is my mom leaving in the portal, or is she staying?
It seems like she's moving away. She's like slipping into the woods. Like she's in the portal, like kind of was peeking behind from a tree, and then has kind of faded into the woods.
Into the Hyperwoods.
Into the Hyperwoods, yeah, through the portal.
Gotcha. She gone. Yo, mom's a bad guy. Bats.
You know, that's cool.
That's fine.
Hey,
Fine.
guys,
I don't talk to them.
I didn't think there were supposed to be people here.
Yeah. Yes, there are.
Well, one of them is my mother.
Oh, is it the one that's also a satyr?
Yeah, no, it's one of the badgers.
Oh.
Really? That seems kind of weird.
No, it's one of the satyrs.
Okay.
Or yeah, it's
I
one
don't
of the
remember
satyrs.
your mom being a badger.
I didn't think badgers could have satyrs.
No,
Ugh.
they can't. It was a joke.
Oh, well, I'm glad. That sounds like it would be a real mess.
Yeah. Cool.
Who's the manta ray guy?
I
He
don't
looks like a
friend?
majestic manta ray.
Looks like a new friend. Let's go say hi.
His whole body makes it look like he's wearing a cape.
Can we maybe wait till my mom's gone?
Oh, right.
Yeah, sure.
Do you not like your mom? Can we call out and say, hey,
No,
lovely
let's
Luna's
not.
mom?
I mean, I don't dislike her, but I'm kind of in this phase that I don't want to be talking to her.
Oh, you're teens. I get it. We've all been there.
Do you know those badgers, honey?
No, I don't. Oh,
You're not honey.
sorry.
It's
Now I just
okay.
feel weird.
There. And Vesper like pats your head a little bit.
Do I know the badgers that are around?
Well, as Princess of the Badger Queendom, any guard is certainly yours to command.
Okay. I mean, I don't know them personally, but I'm sure I could ask them a few questions and they would have to answer me.
If you wish to have known them personally, you could make a roll of some kind, like equivalent of rapport, which would maybe be flashy or flashy seems to be the most logical.
Yeah, probably. I guess I'll try to know them. See if they like me. A 1.
A 1. Yes, you do know one of them, the captain of the guard. He was one who trained you in. He sparred with you a lot when you guys were growing up together, but he always kind of held a resentment towards you because you were the princess, and he felt like your guys' teacher took pains to be kind to you.
Okay. So I do know one of them, but we're not on like the best of terms. But we could talk to him and see what's going on, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds as good a plan as any.
I'm gonna walk over to the captain. Be like,
His name is Edric.
What's his name?
Edric.
Hey, Edric, how's it going? How's your watch going today? Busy?
Yeah, Princess Honey. He immediately starts groveling and bowing, and the other guards all turn and see you, and then they all start.
Oh no, that's not necessary. Not today. No bowing. Stand up.
You really should still force them to bow to you.
I mean, we're just more like buds, like we grew up together. It's fine.
Do they still respect you?
Yeah. Yes. Do you respect me?
Why? Of course, princess.
See, yeah, they respect me. It's fine.
Yeah, see, you just have a different way of doing things. It's perfectly fine. Clearly it works.
So how's your watch going? Like, did you notice anything weird, like the Mantis guy or the other satyr?
They all glance towards the Mantis guy, and Edric says, "Yes, this fool is trying to enter into the portal at the top of Goddess Palm." And the Mantis figure, who up closer you guys see is he's handsome. He is strong and wearing just a sash and a loincloth, and has a sword at his side, and the sash bears some pins.
Real technical question: where is this sword attached to? I'm sorry.
Good point. It's on his back.
Right now, I'm fully picturing like a man, like a full-on man, but instead of like the manta ray wings, it's legit like a big part of his body, but it's a cape. And he's got like fully usable hands, but he just sort of like molds into a manta ray right now. Manta Ray is his name.
Oh, no.
Because Queen Claudia, now we have Manta Ray. Because,
We're
we
doing
can't
real
have
creative
nice
things
things.
here, guys. Real creative.
Well, yes, that's basically exactly what I was saying.
Son of a bitch.
But with a sash and a loincloth and the sword on the back.
Yeah.
My crap.
Yeah.
He's a regal Manta Ray with a loincloth.
Yes, and shining teeth.
I'm sure it's a nice loincloth.
Someone draw that, please.
And he would be startlingly handsome if it weren't for the fact that his eyes are kind of on the side of his head, on the sides of his head, and so it's a little disconcerting.
You don't know what I'm into. Come on.
I just pictured him like, so you know how Manta Rays, their faces on the bottom of them, and it's just like two dots? I pictured him with like Ditto face from Pokemon, where it's just two black dots with like a weird mouth.
Perfect.
Also, with like,
What's happening?
what are they called? They're like the reptile thing where their eyes move a different.
Oh yeah, like the
different-
chameleons.
yeah, chameleons.
I like it. I dig it.
So, tough question for you guys. Who spurned, this guy's name is Mantor Malefex. Who
course
spurned
he is.
Mantor? Yeah, Mantor. Who spurned Mantor Malefex in the past?
Mantor the Manta Ray.
I'm totally gonna take that one. That one was me.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
all you.
So glad.
Yes, Princess Poppy. He often had he had the hearts for you as a young prince. However, now he's not. He looks like he also ran away from the princedom, and has by the pins and whatnot. It seems like he's joined some kind of order instead, and sworn away his princedom.
Can I walk up behind him and just looking desperate as ever?
Can I just
Yes.
Can I just say for the record that there is now in my head, canonically now, there is a just ongoing Queendom meme that his name's really Malifaux, like F-A-U-X, but everyone calls him Malefax and he hates it.
Yes, I bought it.
It's not Joe Dirt, it's Joe Dirte. It's Malefax.
It's Malifaux. Yeah. So Poppy, you go up behind him.
Yep. Looking desperate as ever.
What do he his eyes swivel to face you, and you could tell he is actually having a little bit of a hard time seeing. Has always been kind of a thing. He's like terribly not so much nearsighted, but he's used to seeing underwater. So he focuses for a moment and then goes, "Princess Poppy, is that you?"
Yeah, it's funny running into you here. What are you doing here?
He freezes for a moment and then says, "Well, this is terribly complicated because I'm hunting your mother."
Awkward is what you hear from Best for a little like.
Shh, it's an important moment. You can't. They're doing a thing.
Okay.
They're doing a thing.
Was that the outside voice again?
That was the outside voice. It was very loud outside. You like shouted it
Sure.
on the outside.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. We'll work on it.
Well, yeah.
It's funny that you're hunting her because she was here. I saw her.
Well, I followed her here, but she eluded my capture and slipped completely past these guards using her magic, and they don't believe me at all, and they won't let me through here.
Did you guys hear that? Her mom's magic too.
I'm not surprised.
Is lying still one of your best attributes?
Poppy, you know I would never lie to you.
Can I
And-
see if he's lying to me?
Sure.
How do I do that?
I would say either probably clever or careful. Either way would make sense.
Clever or careful? Okay, I'll do clever. Yep, 3.
Excellent. You can tell that he's not lying, and actually the way that he is kind of holding himself and the pins on his sash. Maybe it's not a sash. Maybe it's his sword holder thing.
That's a sash. It's too late now. He's a manta scout.
Okay, you're thinking that. I'm thinking like Miss America pageant sash.
Yeah. Like the sash, like a Girl Scout or
I
like
was
a.
thinking that too originally.
No, there's some sort of title imprinted on there. I don't know.
Well, he's got the pins on it, right? So it's like a Boy Scout sash, like a Girl Scout sash.
Exactly. Yes.
Or whatever the
It's
Canadian
exactly-
Girl Scout. What is it?
No, we do Girl Scouts. We do have that.
I thought you called it something weird.
No, well, it depends on how far up you go. That's a whole other conversation.
Oh God.
It's not Girl Scouts anymore either.
Wait, what?
Person scouts? I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
something else now, so that they can allow boys.
The scouts. The manta ray's a scout of some kind with a sash.
Skysea Scout of
I read that.
Privilege.
Yes, Poppy. You notice. You just recognize some of these badges. You see one of them has like one of these portals on it, one of these like Hyperwoods portals, and like a hammer that looks like it's smashing it and whatnot. And you recognize, putting it together, that this dude has sworn an oath. This manta dude has sworn an oath to his queendom is called the Celestial Protectorate. They are kind of like they're the people who live in the river, the floating river, and they are like kind of, in a way, like they believe themselves to be angels and protectors of kind of the ancient technologies. And so there's an order among them, the defenders of the Celestial Protectorate. It was really super clever, Keith. Way to make that one up. And they are sworn to hunt down and destroy, to like break the gates into the Hyperwoods, and also to hunt down and destroy anything that comes in from the Hyperwoods. They're like protectors against the Hyperwoods. And so you know that is just by his attitude, he's sworn some kind of oath to them, and he is not going to lie.
Ooh.
The Hyper Scouts.
Why are you Hyper Scouts?
Hyper Scout's honor.
But what's their signal?
We'll come back to that one.
Well, they're all like underwater creatures, so it probably, it's very fin-like. Yes.
A lot of these happening. Oh no.
You're welcome.
Why exactly are you hunting my mother, dearest?
Your mother is a wanted criminal. She killed the high priest. She killed the high priest of my order and fled pursuit from the Celestial Protectorate, and I have been chasing her since then.
I don't know if you guys heard that, but Poppy's mom killed a guy.
Yeah, I heard that.
Like, a lot of us have family issues.
I don't have any, so.
Wait, why don't you have family?
You're kind of like my family, kind of. We adopted you, right? I'm
Sure.
gonna go with. So, Dolly is your issue too.
Crap.
You guys still aren't that quiet back there.
But we're whispering.
Sorry. I'm working on my lower voice. Where?
The outdoor voice. You could tell it's outdoor when there's no doors. There's no way to make a door.
I can't make a door. Therefore.
Sorry, I'm working on my lower voice.
So, did she have a reason for killing this priestess? What did your priestess do?
I suspect that she has been compromised by the Hyperwoods. You should know that our queendoms are not having a good relationship right now.
Sounds like ours.
I mean, yours and mine. But I hate to say this, but you could reclaim the throne.
I have no interest in reclaiming the throne.
But perhaps it could bring peace between our people, and you could declare your mother an outcast.
Again,
Meanwhile,
no
the
interest.
guards are like looking back and forth and just like ping pong with their
Who has
with
more information about this? Why are you trying to get in there?
to capture her.
And the Badger guards won't let you in.
Exactly.
Have Honey,
Perhaps-
I know you're eavesdropping back there.
Huh? What? Yep, I have
I'm
ears.
sorry.
I have ears. They're like,
Twitch.
yes, I'm listening. What would you need?
To have them open the doors for him, of course.
Do you trust him enough?
I'm interested enough.
Wait, so you want him going after your mom? Sorry, I know I'm not supposed to be like out loud talking, but
I'm interested enough to want to know what's going on.
and so if he gets your mom, then you maybe get answers?
I mean, I don't know how to get answers otherwise.
Oh yeah, it's fair.
Well, then he can go through the portal gate. Guards, let him.
Of course,
are you
accompanied
sure that's
by
wise, Princess?
Yes, of course. He can go, and we're gonna go with him and see what's going on.
Wait, we're doing what now?
Following? I think that's what the plan was.
I don't know. I think we were just coming here to see what happened to your sister, my sister, just the sisters.
Oh. Well, toodaloo.
I wasn't listening.
It's okay, little honey.
So Poppy's mom's a bad guy. The bird creature is a good guy. And we're going where?
Wait,
Yes.
maybe whatever happened to your sister is happening to my mom. Maybe we should try to look further into my mom.
Mantor's eyes swivel at the sound of Wesley's voice, and he leans forward and squints at you, and then suddenly draws his blade and points it at Wesley and says,
That's sharp.
You are traveling with a vampire in your midst."
I'm
He's
not.
fine. Don't worry about
I'm a strong, independent woman. I do not need your protection. You can put that away.
He must be killed.
No.
Oh, no.
I mean, I think he's technically undead anyway, so you probably can't really kill him. So it's a little bit more complicated than that. But also, he's my bodyguard, so don't.
Yeah. Plus,
You're-
I just had to kill a guy, and it was really traumatic for me, and I'd hate to have to do it again so fast. So
What's more important to you, catching her mom or killing this vampire? Because if you try to kill the vampire, I will have my guards kill you.
Oh.
Dang.
I love Honey so much.
Yeah.
Where he can't see right out of his vision, which isn't bad, I'm gonna be like,
You just step slowly to the left.
Is that? Do I have to roll for something
For
to make
sass.
him for sass? Roll for sass.
Yeah, I think forceful or clever could both totally make sense in this situation.
I'm gonna go forceful. A 2.
2. And I think you're gonna get like a bonus based on this situation. So yeah, that's definitely a success. So he starts to back down, like glancing. His eyes are swiveling on the sides of his head, looking at the guards who are all like readying their. I feel like they all just use claws, metal claws of some, or spears. Don't guards always
just the ones for show have spears?
Yeah.
magic.
So he's like he's looking at them and sees that everyone is kind of against him on this point, and takes a step back and sheaths his sword with a flutter of his wings, his manta wing, and says, "Well, I do not think it is wise of you to travel with a vampire, but perhaps this one thing could be overlooked."
I mean, it has to be, because, I mean, I've been traveling with her for, like, ever.
Yeah.
Even when I die, I come back and I travel with her some more.
It's great.
I will make sure not to report to my order that your queendom is working with vampires of the Hyperwoods.
To be fair, it's just me.
Yeah, it's just the one, and he's not really of the Hyperwoods. He's like of our queendom. We adopted him.
Yeah,
It's great.
it is pretty great.
Yeah.
I get cake.
So, oh my god. Oh, I miss cake day.
That was every Wednesday.
It really was.
Cake
It was so
day.
good.
I was gonna say, is it like a national holiday?
No, it's a weekly occurrence.
They just changed Wednesday to cake day in the whole kingdom.
This is just
That's a
something
real
that's
life.
probably
Monday, Tuesday, cake day.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the real thing now.
It's real. It's legit. It's canon.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
No, in my
comment.
life. My
No
real
comment
life.
on- Sorry, go ahead.
So, where are we going? That's what Wesley says. Where are we going?
To find Luna's mom?
In the portal.
Where, yeah, the portal.
Oh, that's super dangerous.
I feel like everybody that goes into that portal, especially from here, kind of comes out emo and writing bad poetry and not in a good space.
Yeah.
Why are the badgers guarding the portal? Do they have some sort of link to it?
They're just
don't know.
always guarding it because it's kind
Oh.
of dangerous. Some things could come through it.
Yeah, it's super dangerous.
We could sit outside of it and set a trap for the next thing that comes through it and then interrogate it.
That could be forever, though.
We could put out some badger treats and see if anything comes through.
No, those are gross. You had bugs in a pie.
Do you have a better idea, Wesley?
No. I mean, we could go in it. It's just super dangerous. I didn't say no to going in. I just said it was very dangerous.
You were just pointing out the facts.
Yeah.
We could.
You're just saying the obvious. I get
Great,
it.
thank you. Shut up. It's not. No, it's not. No, no one wants to hear
Oh,
what you have to
does
say.
he? Does Nair have an opinion?
He always has them, and I just can't make him stop. He says that we should go in because it's easier one-on-one.
Not totally wrong.
Yeah. No, I think he means one-on-one. Like, because it's super dangerous for the rest of you, and only a little bit dangerous for me, that the rest of you won't make it.
Oh, that's mean.
I know. That's why I was just trying to tell him to shut up.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I've
I
tried.
thought he liked me.
I don't think he likes anyone. I don't know what his deal
Okay.
is.
You need a Ryan Reynolds soundboard for the
He's super rude. It's just Deadpool.
Okay, we need a Deadpool soundboard and we'll just randomly pull out whatever line we can.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna find this.
I mean, if we're going to track someone down, that's the best way to do it, right? Because who knows if Poppy's mom's going to come back. What was she doing here in the first place?
Yeah, what was she doing here?
I don't know. That's why I asked
The
you.
run because she killed somebody, apparently.
Right.
Why'd you kill them?
Why would
Well, I
she
mean-
come here?
I mean, I guess the Hyperwoods
Ew.
is the fastest way to travel anywhere, right?
And I mean, if you're trying to escape or like you're on the run because you killed somebody and you weren't supposed to.
Most people avoid the Hyperwoods because, you know, all the undead.
Yeah.
Keith, I forgot that the Manticore's name, or the Manta,
Mantor.
whatever he is.
Mantor Malifaux.
Mentor Malifaux.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, Mantar Malifaux. Did you see her doing anything here, Malifaux?
I suspect that she managed to slip past these guards and get into that portal, but she was just outside of my reach.
How long have
Oh,
you been
where?
hunting her?
Sorry, Natalie, I missed that.
How long have you been hunting her?
A few weeks.
Oh. You're not very good, are you?
Well, I have persisted where my brothers have faltered.
Oh, you've had brothers work on this too? Oh, jeez.
His brothers are better at a lot of things.
Oh, and not those brothers. My brothers in the order. I have forsaken my family of blood. But perhaps I could, if offered, Poppy, perhaps I could forsake my order, and if you were to be queen, then I could rule alongside you.
No, thank you.
Oh, it could be like a dual wedding. You can marry the fishman bird, and you get to marry the jelly boy.
No.
Yeah. We could have a really nice reception where the badger people cater.
Yeah.
No.
I have no interest in ruling or marrying. None.
And then we'll find
That's
a boyfriend
just
for
like
Honey.
quiet everybody on this. No.
Who could Honey like? It'd have to be somebody equally weird.
No one, because I am,
None of us.
emotionally unavailable.
I mean, there's that.
Oh.
Or just none of us need to get married. All of us are strong, independent women who don't need no anybody's to rule the kingdom.
I'm a boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're not going to be ruling any kingdoms.
Unless he takes one over, and then, that's a whole different story.
That's a good point.
You can help me rule.
Okay. That sounds
Yeah.
fun.
It'll be good.
Every day's gonna be cake day.
Every day is going to be cake day. It's going to be so good.
You guys are going to get really confused on your days.
No, we're not.
Probably. I mean, it's going to be different kinds of cake each day.
See? Smart cookie.
Smart.
No, cake.
Cookies
All
are
right,
for
so
breakfast.
guys, what's the plan here, you guys?
We don't know, Keith.
Yeah. I don't know.
We started talking about cake. So what do you mean? Last time it was
We-
boy bands, this time it's cake.
We don't know, Keith. We didn't get that far in our cake discussion, okay? We got distracted from the cake talk about cookies, and now we have to figure out how to get back to this Hyperwoods. It's a whole thing, man. God, rude for interrupting. Yeah, so if we go in the Hyperwoods, like, I'll do my best, but don't die?
Well, what can we do to protect ourselves while we're there, since you're the only one that has been there?
You could not die. You could fight the things that come at you. I'd never seen a laser wolf before, but I assume those are there. Or like siblings that are vampires, or vampires that aren't me, or...
How do we defeat other vampires that are not you?
Yeah.
I think like the same way that you defeat most things.
Nothing special.
No,
Make them into a door?
Not stuffing garlic down their throat, or
Oh, no, we love pizza.
stabbing their little hearts, or...
no, we just have
No.
regular sized hearts. That works on everyone though.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and I love Italian food. We eat it all the time. We have
It's
spaghetti
not
Sundays.
Italian food day, too?
We have spaghetti Sundays.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What is
You-
your kingdom?
You have
Queendom?
to carbo load before your Mondays when you do cardio.
If we really just work out a whole heck of a lot, which is
Yeah.
why we eat so much.
Yeah.
We're pretty
Why you're allowed to have cake day every day?
Yeah.
much, yeah. We work out like constantly.
Yeah. I don't know how science works, but that's why I'm so small.
Yeah.
I don't
I
really
don't
have a
think
lot
that-
of muscles, and I think it's because I'm dead.
That might be, but like that's how I have muscles because I have to eat things and then I burn it off. Because then we just work out all the time and we fight and we spar and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one with glitter still, but I'm working on that. But like, yeah, we got them really into cake day.
I'm very against glitter.
Is
For
it?
me
Yeah, why
personally.
don't you wear some glitter? And you're
No.
from her queendom now. I feel like it's a badge of honor.
I'm very against glitter. I feel like
No.
it's been done too many times.
Well, it's really only me that wears glitter. I mean, my grandmother did too, but my grandmama. But yeah, no, most of them are pretty serious back at home. I'm the only one like me, which is gonna be great when I roll the kingdom. When we roll the kingdom, Wesley, and every cake day.
It's gonna be great.
be so good.
So,
Anyway,
what you're saying is if we go through this portal, we'll just have to fight things, and that's it.
Sounds
Are we all guaranteed to be like dropped at the same place if we go through the portal?
Oh yeah, how do those work?
I do not know.
most of the time,
It's more like a hole than it is like a teleporter, right? It's like a hole into a different plane.
it's like a door, but It's like a door.
So what if we, all go in holding like the same rope? Then
Yeah.
maybe we'll be dropped in the same area.
Yeah, then we don't get lost or lose each other. And if we tie it on like this side of the portal, if we really don't like what's on that side,
we can just climb back out. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Right, unless it closes.
Wait, it can close.
Yeah. Doors are to stay open. That doesn't make any sense.
My doors always stay open.
That's because you punch them in walls.
Yeah,
They don't. That's someone has to close that. They have to put rocks in.
No, they don't.
How
Doors
often
closed.
does this portal close?
I've never been here. I don't know. This is your kingdom.
I don't know. I don't come this.
guards now.
Maybe the badger guards.
Yeah, I turn to my badger friend guard and how often does this portal, open and close and do its thing? Like if we were going to go through, would we be guaranteed to come back?
It has been open since the dawn of the Badger Queendom and has never, to our knowledge, closed.
That's fine. That's not so scary.
That's a good track record.
Honey, as a badger, you're very attuned to the feelings of the earth, and you feel a tremor.
Did you guys just feel that?
All the badgers are looking around nervously.
Feel what?
The ground is shook a little bit.
I'm really high up here. It doesn't normally get up this far.
Maybe crouch down a little bit. Like
Okay.
Yeah, just get low.
Some
Crunch down to the ground.
dust and debris kind of rain down on you guys from the hand above.
Well, this is weird.
This isn't normal. Do I see anything? Like, I'm gonna put my ear to the ground and listen.
As soon as you put your ear to the ground, you all feel a terrible quake in the earth, and some 10 feet away, one of the fingers of the hand starts cracking. You're seeing like a hairline crack along the finger, and it's starting to kind of quiver and move.
Is that do you just have like a sleeping giant laying around?
Nope.
And that's a person attached to the hand?
Mm-mm.
Well,
That's not.
Well, you see how the hand moves like a person's attached to the rest of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not normal.
Did you guys ever think to like dig around it? I don't want to be like racist, but I'm sorry. If there's a giant hand sticking out of the ground and like you're known for digging, I would have dug around it.
No, we did not dig around it.
Well, that seems like a hindsight 2020 situation.
Do you want to spend all day digging? Just like digging?
No, but I'm not a digger.
Maybe we should just get in the portal, because like everything, I don't know, this doesn't feel very good. And I don't know about you, but I don't really want to stay here right now, because I don't know how the earth is going to stay together.
Yeah, I'm okay going to the portal.
Everybody give me a quick roll as the finger... The finger cracks off and descends rapidly towards you.
I can't remember if I'm good at this.
I'm the most quick person in the world.
Oh, I'm actually not bad.
I got a
rolled
3.
a 5.
Oh, I rolled a -2.
Okay, I did better than that. I rolled a 1.
Poppy dies immediately.
Can I use a fate or a reroll or something?
Yes. So if you are not satisfied with your result, you can use a fate token to invoke an aspect. So it will either be an aspect of your character that would make narrative sense for you to be like more likely to be able to dodge out of the way of this, or it could be an aspect, a situation aspect. There's a bunch of them out on the board right now, like Cliff's Edge or Long Way Down or Obscuring Mist.
Yeah, can I, because I only rolled a 1, can I invoke a fate, can I use a fate point to invoke my bodybuilder Barbie, which means I am fit as F, and therefore, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So you get a +2 for doing that, or you could, if you want to re-roll, like roll all over again. But I would only advise that if you roll like a -3 or below, because it's...
No, I'm just going to take the +2 that makes it a 3.
Cool.
Makes it slightly, it makes it at least. what's the word? It makes it good.
Makes it passable.
Good.
And make it good.
Good. All right, so I've got a 5 on this. This is like an attack roll against you guys, right? So however much you have failed by is the number of shifts of stress that you're going to take. Does that make sense? So Natalie, you're at a 3.
Yeah.
So you'll take 2 stress. So you could check off the 2 box on your stress, and
that's fair.
And that represents you're like running and diving and leaping, and you totally scrape up your knees and elbows and whatnot on the rocks.
There's some glitter along the way.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 5. I take 0 stress.
Excellent.
Damn.
So does that mean I would have been at 0, so I take 5?
Where are you at?
She rolled a -2.
Yeah, it might be worth. Because
Rerolling?
you got no quick. Yeah, so you invoked an aspect. What aspect did you invoke?
If I use the ones on the board, are those gone forever, or do they get replaced?
No, they're there forever as long as we're in this scene, right?
Okay. I want to use base of the arm, and I essentially just want to use the arm as a shield, run around
Cool.
it.
Yeah, you duck under that, and so that it doesn't hit you. Well, it still does cause stress, right? So you're at a 0. So yeah, 5 stress. You could check off the 3 and the 2 on your stress track in order to soak that up.
Okay.
We stressed, fam. This is not good.
Yeah. So you dive under the arm, but a huge chunk of this finger that's falling lands on your leg, and you are stuck for a moment as debris is kind of raining down on you. And so you're not hurt, you're not like wounded, right? But you're pretty scratched and beat up, right? Bruised and battered. And honey, how was yours? You had a 3, so yeah, you would take 2 stress.
Yeah, I put 2.
All right, and all of the badgers have like suffered their own stress. Several of them have been terribly wounded and are like being dragged away by the other ones. And it seems like this is not over. This like quaking is still happening, and the hand above you guys is shaking. The supports that are like holding it up are starting to like pop, like they're wooden supports that have been like reinforced. The hand over people built to reinforce the hand over time are starting to like crack and pop the wood. I think it was Edric or something. The name of the dude.
Perfect.
Sorry, happening in chat.
Captain Edric.
Yeah, Edric.
That's right.
So this is like cracking, and it looks like a bad time for everyone around, right?
Yeah, it's even to the point where the like edge of the cliff beyond you guys some of that is starting to crack off and fall down toward the planet.
Hey, honey, are like earthquakes like a big thing for you guys? I know you're underground most of the time, but
No, this is not necessarily anything I've experienced before.
great. So all signs point to that's a giant, an actual giant.
All signs point to let's go!
But what about
and
them?
Vesper is going to yeet into the portal.
Yes. Okay, so it's going to be a series of rolls for you guys to overcome, right? It's like
I didn't see another way out. The portal's there. I'm just going to jump in. It's fine.
Yes. That's perfect. What approach are you using to get up there? Describe to me how you're going about this.
Wait, how far away is the portal?
I mean, look
We're
at that.
like hanging out next to it.
Are all of us doing this? Are all of us describing how we're getting there?
Yeah.
Okay, where's this portal?
Okay, so here, I'll use your guys' little tokens. Oh goodness. But make them at the top. To the front.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's that giant hand.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's falling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And so you guys are at the base of that.
And the portal's in its hand?
Yes.
Oh, so we got to get up there to even get to the portal. I see.
these cards in this instance are representing zones, which are kind of abstract, as opposed to D&D where you're like, counting the number of squares. This is more like this whole zone is like, I don't know, maybe 100 feet or something. But the idea is that this is at the base of the arm, and there's also these supports here. And then to your left, like we've got the cliff's edge, and a long way down, that's a different zone. And then moving up the hand is going to be its own zone, and the portal itself will be a zone. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. They're like abstract, like little regions that all have kind of their own aspects. Okay, so Natalie, Vesper, you said you're using approach?
I am going. So we're at like the base of the hand then probably.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to get up that thing. Cool. I'm like, all right, let's go. And I just like grab like the base of it and like throw myself up.
Yes.
Like basically it seems like how she would do this and try to do that forcefully.
Cool. Yeah, give me a forceful roll.
Yep, that's her jam. That's a 2.
A 2. I think that is fair. I think that almost makes it. I was looking at a 3. So you could invoke.
Okay, no. Can I? Okay, well, there's different areas here. I got an hour left. I got 4 fate points to spend. Let's see what I can do here.
Yes, you could also succeed at a cost. Like I could say that you take stress.
No, I'm already stressed. Can I utilize? So I mean, there's the base of the arm. Is there a way that I could like utilize that to help propel myself up a bit further, and then suspend a fate point to use that aspect of the environment?
Yeah, totally. Or like the supports, the mechanical supports.
Yeah, mechanical support.
Yeah, I was seeing as being like wooden and metal and stuff like that, so you could pole vault with one of them.
Yeah, so I thrust myself going upwards, and then I like grab something, and then.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you see Vesper start to do.
Sweet, perfect. All right, so you're
making my way up, down.
Wow.
Really fast. I don't know. I could start going on that song, but I don't think I should anyways.
So you guys see Vesper like lunging up the side of this and scrambling, and is like holding on to the edge of the palm itself and pulling herself up. Who I guess we could do an initiative, but we could just free flow this. So who wants to go next?
I'm trying to
go
think
next.
of one. Go for it.
I'm going to use kind of like my circus training and making things appear and disappear. So any like falling chunks of stone, I'm going to like make disappear and appear up to me like I'm walking pretty much upstairs.
Yes, that's so cool.
Which is perfect because you'll catch up to Vesper as she's like throwing herself up, and you're like, why didn't you just take the stairs?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that imagery. Yeah, I think we've been using your magic. Has that been flashy? I think that we've been using.
Flashy. Mm-hmm. So a -1, and you said we could use our fate tokens.
Yes.
Can I? What do I do for that again? Sorry, you just explained it.
If you hover over the actual yellow square, you can see what your results were. You're rolling 4 dice, so you did get a -3 on the dice, which is pretty bad. So you could use a fate point to re-roll if you would like. But you have to invoke an aspect that makes sense narratively to be helping you in this situation. So
I've trained in the circus for one of my aspects.
Yes, you've done this trick before. Led yourself up to a platform on stage by floating some things. Yes. All right, so you are 1 point. You're 1 away, but if you want, you can take the difference in stress. That you're basically like being frazzled by the intensity of all these falling things. You're like not used to it being this intense, so there's some stuff that you're like not getting in time, and it's battering you a little bit, but you succeed with that small cost. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. So I'm out of stress, little square.
So when you're out of stress, the next hit that you take is going to go to your consequences, which means it will be a wound, right? That you'll have to heal over the course of a session or so.
Okay.
That's when you'll actually get like a tag that says you're battered and bruised, or you have a punctured lung or something like that, depending on how bad it is.
Okay. Cool.
Does that make sense? It's like a buffer zone for your actual wounds.
Sounds good. Yep. Makes sense.
So Wesley is going to go to like the elbow of this giant arm, and he's like, you see him like studying it for a while, like as everyone is sort of like leaping up in different ways or pulling themselves up, and he's watching every time the cracks sort of splinter, and like a chunk falls off, and he's trying to analyze where the cracks are going to be, and then you just see him sort of like crouch down and start sprinting up the thing, and you see him like jump and hop and jump and hop, and he's like hopping and jumping over the cracks as they're forming, so he's putting pressure on the right places as it's cracking around him.
Cool. That sounds pretty clever.
I was hoping so.
That's the trick. You're like, describe it cleverly.
I rolled a -3. Yikes. Cool. I'm going to spend a fate point, use an aspect, and re-roll this. The aspect I used is memories give me power. So in cartoon form, you see all that happen, and then it like zooms out and then zooms really far in, and you see that little image of Wesley moving, and it's his eye, and he's back at the beginning again. He's like, oh, no! And so it was a memory of the thing happening, and then he rolls again and doesn't eat shit this time, hopefully. It was a 1! All right, better than nothing. Better than nothing. What other can I? So let me move one of these fate points out of here. Oh wait, one's already missing from me, so I'll use that. We had 5, right, to start?
Yes.
Okay, so one's already gone. Let's see, what can we use? Magicanical supports? What is that supposed to be magical supports, Keith?
Yes, they're magical and mechanical.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, those are the things like holding up the arm at the base. So perhaps you could invoke that and say that when it seems like you're starting to slip and the crack is like falling apart, you like step on one of these supports. And
perfect. So I'll do that. So I'll sacrifice a fate point, throw it over here, and I will use magicanical supports, and that should get me to a 3.
Sweet. Excellent. Perfect. So we've got Poppy is pulling these teleporting these stones next to her and using them as a walkway as she's being pummeled by some of them that are moving faster than she expected. And we have Vesper lunging and climbing up this thing, and we have Wesley, who's following the cracks very carefully, very cleverly, and lunging off of the supports. And Honey, what are you doing?
Honey's gonna make a run for the hand, and she's gonna start trying to climb it quickly using her claws in both of her like hands, and then her boots have claws that like stick in as well. And quick. I rolled a 1. I'm gonna spend a fate token to make sure I get up this, and I'm one of my aspects is jealous of Vesper's height, so I'm going to jump back down and jump onto a rock, and like use it to like jump higher on.
Cool, I buy it.
So I get a +2 with that.
A +2, yeah, cool. for every aspect you invoke.
That's a 3.
Cool. Perfect. All right. You guys are scrambling up the kind of base of the palm. And what you see is this portal at its edges is starting to look as if it's being like, it looks like it's closing. It's becoming smaller. But at its edges, you're seeing kind of like a bit of like the fabric that is holding it at its edges is starting to be like woven closed, and you see on the other side inside the Hyperwoods some mechanical spider-like creatures with red glowing eyes are like rapidly weaving this thing closed. There's 3 of them.
They're weaving the portal closed?
Mm-hmm.
Now, just to be clear, these are mechanical and not magicanical spiders. What's wrong?
I mean, the line is blurry.
Oh,
certainly.
sure. You know, when you start mixing the mechanical and the arcane, who knows what could happen?
Yes, these are like robotic, right? These are like these are hyperspace denizen creatures, so they're like weirdly
Like the laser
robotic. Yes, like laser wolves. Well, laser wolves are native to your region. The wolves themselves are, but they got corrupted by the Hyperwoods.
Yeah.
It's complicated, I know.
We don't just produce laser wolves.
Good new market. Guys, remember that time? Remember that time that I said it'd be very super dangerous if we jumped inside the portal and then the portal closed, and you guys were like, "No problem, the portal's never closed ever."
Yeah.
Portal's closing.
Yikes.
Bye, everyone in the Badger Kingdom.
Bye. Come on, everybody, let's go.
We should probably kill the giant mechanical spiders though, because they're the ones that are closing the portal. And if we ever want to come back, the spiders, the giant spiders, they're right over here.
I don't like spiders. We've been through this.
Smash them.
Okay.
Great. And then Wesley pulls out Nyar the bow and begins to get ready to fire an arrow.
Yes.
I'm still not over that.
I guess actually.
Smash.
I hope that too.
Cool. Look at that! How beautiful that battle mat is. You can just see it.
Oh god.
It's vivid and alive.
I'm enthralled by it.
It works.
It looks like my art when I'm super drunk.
So
It's
just
really
your art.
good. There's some spiders at the top of a big hand.
Mush 'em.
Mush.
That's first mush.
Big spider when you have to wash out.
All right, so Vesper, I think was our first to go, right?
Yeah. Vesper doesn't think before she does anything, guys. Yeah, if I see a giant spider, I'm gonna try Vesper smash. That's pretty much how this goes.
They are on the other side of the portal, for what it's worth.
On the other side, so like I don't need to really deal with them. I could just jump into this portal that's closing.
They're on the inside.
Oh, they're on the inside.
Yeah.
So when I
they're
jump in, I gotta deal with them.
Well, you don't have to jump in there. Like, you could jump in. It's just you can't jump back out because they're sewing the portal closed.
Can I jump in and simultaneously punch?
Oh yeah.
Vesper punch! I'm just gonna take a lot of catchphrases and add Vesper's name in front of them. Which is what her action figure says when you get her action figure anyways.
Yes, and you push the button on our back.
Yep.
Okay, this is pretty freaking forceful, I'm assuming.
Yeah, sounds forceful to me.
And it
Also-
comes with glitter and a bench press.
It really does. This is a conflict, correct?
Yeah.
Cool, because I wouldn't mind using Power Gauntlet,
Sweet.
which is when I first time I attack forcefully and attack, I add +3. Perfect.
Sounds great.
I'm gonna just smash it.
Yes.
So you know, this is the time, of course, I roll a 3, is when I'm adding a +3, and so that becomes a 6.
How does this go down?
So because she has been like grabbing an edge and then like throwing herself into the air, she sees these stupid spider things. Like she's like overshot herself a little bit. She's kind of up in the air and she's about to like head downwards on a diagonal into the portal. But she sees these stupid freaking spiders as she's obviously talking to Wesley while midair. She's like, all right, well, Vesper punch. And she'll just like superhero punch this spider and probably punches like through it. It's probably kind of gross. But like when her fist goes through it, there's still glitter coming off the sides of it. Somehow in the blood. The spider isn't actually that glittery, but that's how that works.
You punch through it, and there's an explosion as this creature just is like shrapnel flies all over the place. And as the smoke clears, Vesper does a hair whip, and there's glitter in the air.
Flows behind.
Yes, bling, and bits of shrapnel stuck in her.
Fine. Yeah, there's like part of like the antenna or something like that from the spider, like in her hair that she's had to like flick out.
Yes, perfect. and one is down.
Rip. How many are there?
3.
That's unfortunate. I dealt with one, guys.
All right, I think Poppy went next.
Can I do something for flavor as not my action? I want to make one of those boulders that I was walking in appear on Mantor's cape so he can't come with us and he can't get it off.
Yes. He is scrambling at the base of it just behind you guys. I should have put a little token for Mantor Malifaux.
And then when I go through, I want to light up a little like flame on the pieces that they're weaving in front of one of them.
Okay, cool.
To try to, I don't know, burn it. I don't know if these spiders burn. We'll find out. I'm going to use...
Everything burns if you try hard enough.
I feel like you're speaking from experience.
Natalie in here more than Vesper. I get aggressive with bugs.
Oh, I rolled a 1. I'm going to use a fate to go again because I'm trained in circus and I'm just going to use that one always. Wait, what was my... Yeah. Can I use the aspects more than once?
Yes, you can invoke. The limitation is you can only invoke a single aspect once in a single roll.
Oh, then I can't use that one again.
No, you can.
So
you used it last turn, right? But you haven't used it this turn.
Oh, yeah.
And as long as that's the limitation is like as long as it makes narrative sense and you haven't used it in the same roll. Like you can't invoke like your like magician thing 3 times on the same roll. It can only do it once. So then you look around for the other stuff if you need more.
Well, evidently it still wants me to have a 1. So we're going with 1.
Okay. And is your goal to be hurting it or is it to be like dazzling it, like creating an advantage against it?
I wanted to hurt it.
Okay. Okay. It does not succeed. So let's see. As the fire flashes in front of it, it like steps back, and you manage to not see it coming. But through the fire, a like a harpoon kind of web fires directly through the fire. You didn't see it coming because the fire is like in between you and it, but this harpoon web flies towards you. And give me a roll to defend against it. Like quick, perhaps.
Quick. All right. Okay.
Oof.
Kai, you're having a real bad day.
Okay, so
Rough time.
Get enough sleep.
Hey guys, I don't know what's up.
I
This
was distracted by my mother's story.
this was not necessarily an attack, so you don't have to be concerned about taking a wound, but it was creating an advantage. It is this harpoon, this web slams into your face, and like is just like a goo that attaches to your face, and you're yanked forward into the portal, and this spider latches onto Poppy. So it has created an advantage of harpooned on Poppy. I'm just taking their actions at this point, in case you guys were wondering what the hell was going on.
Makes sense.
The other 2 are closing the portal. It seems like if they have one more turn, that the portal will be totally closed. Mike, Wesley.
That is me. I am going to make sure I'm not muted, which I'm not. He is going to. So there's one on the portal closing it, one's dead, and one's on Poppy, right?
Oh shit! Yeah, there's only one. There's 2 left. So one is closing it. So it'll be 2 turns before it is. Portals.
Yeah, so I think in typical Glamazonian fashion, Wesley runs up, leaps through the portal, and like mid-air turns around and just fires an arrow backwards as he's falling backwards. You know, fires a few arrows towards this whole thing.
Yes.
And yeah, I think I have a bow, a living bow, so I can use clever or careful. Well, that didn't work out perfect.
Guys, you're becoming the Avengers. Wesley is clearly Hawkeye.
I am
and Vesper
clearly
is
Hawkeye.
Hulk.
I'm
So,
clearly Hawkeye.
We're good.
Yeah, man. I guess
Oh my-
that doesn't sound careful. It could be clever. I don't think it is. I think it's quick. I think I'm just quickly firing arrows there.
Luna's Doctor Strange. It's
Perfect.
Great. I've got
Great.
this figured out. I got to figure out how to.
Keith,
Five.
having been from the Hyperwoods, would it be feasible to say that I've ever fought these spiders before, ever?
Yeah.
It would be feasible?
Yeah.
Perfect. I have a stunt called Living Bow. You have a weapon that adapts and learns, and when you enter a conflict with an opponent you have faced before, you immediately gain a boost based on your prior experience. What is that boost?
A boost, you could just use it cash it in right now if you want,
Sure.
and then we don't have to track it. But a boost is a situational aspect that can only be used once.
Okay.
So your situational aspect might be like, a weak spot or something like that you know of.
Okay, perfect. And it does what? Adds what? +1?
+2. It's
Plus
the
2.
same as invoking an aspect. Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right, then I'm going to fire quick, the +2. So a 3 on these bad mofos. And so what I do is I'm firing, and the arrow hits right where like the suctiony feet are held on to the nothing, right? Because I imagine that this is a portal, just like it is here, which is the portal to nothing, and on the other side, it's also nothing. It's like there's a tree there or something like that. So they're just holding on to air, and I know just the right spot to hit them in the position that would make it fall down, which is my goal, is to just get it off the portal.
Yes. You peg it, and arrow slices through the air and stabs into it. If you were to have another +2, it would destroy it. But right now, it's just it is wounding it.
Perfect. That is what I
Cool.
do.
All right. Excellent. Honey.
So there's one spider left on the portal, right?
There's one that's closing it and one that is holding Poppy.
I am going to use I have chains because I'm a bounty hunter, and I'm going to use one of my chains to like try to whip around its like arm or leg and like pull it down off of like the hand.
Awesome. The one that Mike just pegged that was closing the portal? Okay.
Yeah. And it is a quick roll. Let's see. I got a 3.
Yes, excellent. All right, so Honey throws this chain forward. There's like a claw on the end of it, I assume.
Yeah.
because it's,
Badgers,
yeah. and it wraps around this thing's leg and sticks in place, and it squeals out, and you yank, and it hurls through the air and just crashes to the ground below and explodes in a fiery wreckage of robotic bits.
Cool.
Fuck that guy. You still have the one on Poppy, though.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so back up to Natalie.
I should probably not smash while it's on her face. Probably a pro tip. Okay, but there's nothing. Okay, so the ones that we're working on closing the portal are gone, though.
Yes.
So it's just this annoying thing that's on. Can I, like, grab the one that's on her face and try to throw it?
Yeah, so some things you can do with created advantages, like this harpoon. Okay. You could overcome an obstacle to defeat that advantage.
Okay.
And the idea is that you're like breaking whatever this hold is on her, right?
Yeah,
this
so I want to overcome this obstacle.
Cool.
Forcefully, using my muscles. That's what I have. That's what I have to work with.
Perfect. They are perfect muscles.
That's a 3!
Excellent.
Hell yeah. We're smashing obstacles, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Smash.
All right. You run forward and grab hold of this crazy webbing and rip it off from Poppy's face, and the spider scuttles backwards, and it was chanting in a creepy, eerie voice. Poppy, you were hearing it as it was holding you. It drags the pretties, kicking and screaming to mother. It drags the pretties. It drags them. And you were hearing that as it was holding you. And so Vesper crashes forward and strikes it, and it stumbles backwards. And then it starts... it sees that it is outnumbered and starts fleeing into the depths of the Hyperwoods. And the portal is stable, and the quaking, cracking, whatnot seems to be slowing. It seems like the portal was tied to that, and the portal closing was causing some kind of earthquaking. It's just reasons. It was a load-bearing portal.
Wow, Keith. Guys, I think we saved the day. This is great.
Yeah.
Now what do we do?
Into the portal?
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot that Poppy's mom kills people. Okay, great. Let's do that. Why does everyone look at me weird?
It's nothing.
This is just how I normally look at you.
I mean, we don't know that she didn't kill anybody.
We're doing good.
Why don't you go first through the portal? Just since you've been there,
Oh, okay.
Jump.
Let's go that way. And he turns left. Don't touch anything. Don't touch the trees or anything at all. If
Wait,
it
is
looks
this because we're in the
edible-
portal? We're in the portal? Are we in the portal now?
Yes.
Good.
If it's edible, it's not. If it looks like it is, it isn't.
But what if it is?
It's not.
Hear me out.
Yeah,
What if it looks like cake?
it's not cake. It wants to kill you.
The cake is a lie.
The cake's a lie.
And we have no food.
Yeah.
Or anything to eat or drink.
Yeah, this was very poorly planned.
And we can't eat anything or drink anything that's here or touch anything.
Right.
We can't sleep.
I mean, you can sleep.
I'm gonna go with we don't want to spend long here anyways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Less time the better. We're just trying to find her mom and then just get out of here.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that things that are undead now weren't before, so the less time the better. I mean, it's the quickest way to get from A to B, but still, quicker the better.
Yeah. Wait,
Sounds
where's
good.
B?
Anywhere.
You guys have a direction. It's in the direction of plot, and
Which was left.
I love
which was,
that direction.
It was stage left, is what I understood it to be. I saw Poppy's mom go in and go stage
Yes.
left. Yes, that's
Yes.
why I went that
So
direction.
Perfect.
it's that direction. Yeah.
That's where I'm going.
You can feel that in the wind.
Yeah.
The
I guess smell it.
Hyperwood. The Hyperwoods are composed of weird trees, like the image that we have on the battle mat, that look like weirdly circuit-like. They all seem to be humming and buzzing, kind of in asynchronous unity in a very strange and eerie place. It has the tone of a haunted forest, but also weirdly digital. Occasionally you see some weird spiders, not necessarily those were rift weavers, those were specific man-sized creatures, but you see some weird digital ghost-like spiders that crawl amongst the boughs of the strange digital trees. And you follow the path to Wesley's guiding, who seems a bit more confident than the rest of you, who seem struck with a fear at this place that seems to be closing in upon you from all sides, and also watching you with a myriad number of circuit eyes, unseen, and fluff.
Why are you guys going so slow?
This place is weird. I'm just trying to take it all in.
You shouldn't take any of it in. If you just walk a straight line, you just follow me, you just look at the red cape, and then I will keep walking this way, and you guys follow in like a line. And then if one of you gets kidnapped or stolen, just shout.
Should we have maybe, like, attached each other? Does anybody have a rope? Can we still create a child leash? That still works. So, like, let's create, like, a child leash, except for with the 4 of us, because I think that'd probably be good.
I pull out one of my chains and I grab on the end and I give Wesley the front.
Thanks.
Vesper's gonna hold on.
Great. Okay, still applies. Don't touch anything. Don't eat anything. Trying to breathe any spores in. If you get kidnapped, just shout your name so that we know who got kidnapped. Also, if you give you a description of whatever gets kidnapped.
Couldn't you just, like, look around and realize who got kidnapped? I mean, if only one of us is missing, I think we know exactly who we all are.
Yeah, I mean, unless you get replaced by a ghost.
What?
Wait, what?
That's normal? That happens?
I mean, you're in the Hyperwoods.
Okay.
It doesn't mean anything to me.
I know, that's what I said. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
All right, well, why don't you lead the way and we keep walking?
That's what I'm doing. I'm going left. This way.
Stage left.
So I am, you know what? Because I feel like there should be dice rolling for something, because I played Dungeons and Dragons. This sounds like an obstacle, right? Like, to overcome this obstacle, to track down
Yes.
the mother here and find out where in the world is Carmen Sandiego.
Thank you.
I would like to roll something. I'm going to do some weird shit, because I can. I'm going to invoke an aspect, because also I like narrative flair and fluff. So this is just like, it's a hella dense forest, right, Keith? That's what we're looking at here? Mm-hmm. Cool. You see Wesley go, perfect. You see Wesley go, like, very, like, tracker mode, and he, like, has the chain still, and actually he, like, kind of attaches it to, like, one of, like, the clasps on his cloak or something like that. But you see him doing the opposite of what he told all of you to do. And he's, like, very low to the ground, and he's, like, moving things around, and he's, like, picking up, like, faux grass, and you see him, like, turn over a rock, and he, like, breaks a stick off, and then you see him, like, put the stick back together and put it back on the tree, and it just, like, glows back together. And then he reaches down and he picks up a big, like, you know, baseball-sized mushroom, and he just says, "I got it!" And then he just bites into the mushroom. And all the color drains from the mushroom, because that's how this works. And I'm using my aspect, Memory Gives Me Power, to give myself a bonus +2 to whatever the hell I'm going to roll next. Which is going to be a clever roll to try to track down this person.
Sweet.
So it's this number +2, so it's 6. So essentially what happens is I bite into, like, this apple-sized mushroom. All the color drains out. And you see Wesley kind of look like the situation with the Serpentor. And I am recalling the memories of this mushroom, which has, you know, sensory spores and roots and can sense the passage of people, I assume. That's how I'm tracking.
We weren't supposed to eat anything.
You're not. I'm okay. I'm already dead.
Oh.
Yeah. You can eat it too if you...
Want to be dead?
Yeah.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, most people don't.
Hard pass.
It was probably an accident the first time, but... Who knows?
All right. You are able to perfectly follow the trail of Poppy's mother.
Hell yeah.
So you're moving deep into the Hyperwoods, and the terrain, the first shift in the terrain is that there start to be these large boulders kind of in the path, and the trees seem like in a weird ghost-like way to, like, kind of sprout out from them, like as if they are ghosts, right, and not existing in the same space as them. And the boulders start to grow bigger, and then on the horizon, off to you're heading towards Poppy's
stage left. Yeah.
Off in the distance, in one other direction, towards the north, or whatnot. Look, they don't supply a map in my head. Okay,
That's
nothing
fine.
has a map in my head. There is a temple in the distance, and you all pause and stare in kind of rapt wonder at this temple, because it is the shape of a strange goddess-like figure. The whole temple is, and has multiple arms. This figure, 2 of them are holding a bow, and 2 of them are upright claws, and 2 of them are gauntlets, and 2 of them hold magic wands. And this figure has the horns of a satyr and long, flowing purple hair.
You guys ever look at that temple before and think that it looks like we just smashed us all together?
I've never been here before, so I've never looked at that temple.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you look at that temple, it looks like someone just smashed all of us together.
Yeah, kind of. That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
I hope that doesn't actually happen, because that would be kind of awful.
Yeah.
I like you guys, but I don't think I want to be smashed up next to you.
Yeah, smashing sounds bad.
I like smashing, but I think this is like the bad one.
Yeah, like the bad version.
Yeah.
Poppy, you recognize some of the really terrible poetry that you were reading. Seems to kind of in a esoteric way match up with this statue, making the conclusion that this was what Dahlia saw that really messed her up, and the memory that was stolen from her.
This temple was the memory?
Mm-hmm.
Honey, it looks like your sister's terrible poetry is here.
Where? The temple?
Yes, the temple.
Do I see the pair of poetry?
No, it was mostly that some of her weird poetry didn't totally make sense. She was describing multiple arms or whatnot, and you guys were like overlooking it as you were reading her journal, because you were like, I don't really get what she's getting at. But then now it's like dawns on you, right? And you're like, oh, she was talking about this.
I thought she like emo graffitied the wall of the.
That's what I thought too. Just like
You are
carved in
remembering.
her poetry to the temple.
Oh my god.
Oh, into the temple.
Into the temple. She'd defaced the temple with her poetry, which is like, that's a lot of wrongs between both the poetry and defacing the temple.
It's a lot of angst.
That is, yeah.
It's a lot
Edgy,
of hairy
sir.
badger teen angst.
Never mind, there's no poetry. I don't know what to do. Do I see my mother?
No, and the trail that Wesley's following leads you away from the temple. This is kind of like a detour from the direction of plot.
It's a side quest!
It's the side quest.
I once read a poem. Don't judge me for it. But I once read a poem about something about 2 paths in the woods, and we have 2 paths in the woods.
Was it from Dahlia? Because that poetry was pretty bad.
Oh, that's why I remember it. Okay, that's what it was.
Why do you remember it? I blocked all of it out.
I don't know. It just sort of came back to me.
Maybe it connected with you.
Maybe it did. Maybe I just
Yeah.
like the number 2, or paths, or the woods.
Well,
Okay.
you're from
Anyway,
the wood.
Poppy, your mom went this way.
What if this temple's like a magic trick that
Oh.
appears like similar to the people who witness it?
What do you know about this temple then, Wesley? Have you seen it before?
No.
Oh. Can you
Kai,
eat
I'll
something
give
that's
you
seen
a-
it before?
Wait, so sorry, Nelly, say that again.
Can you eat something that's seen it before?
I mean, I probably could, but like, it would just tell me that it's there.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, unless there's a
okay.
person inside, and I can eat that person.
I mean,
You guys are welcome to make a roll of some kind to see if you can discern whether this is an illusion or get more information about this?
Sure, what kind of roll? Clever?
Clever seems the most logical, but you could make an argument and maybe I'll buy it. I don't know.
It's like, I'm not sure I can make this forceful, though.
You could throw a rock at it.
You can headbutt it.
Keith, what happens when you invoke like a negative aspect?
Like your trouble?
Yeah, so I have an aspect that's normally fine, but like in most contexts, it seems like it's actually a trouble. Like I have one that's called no memory of past lives.
Yeah, so those the second aspect that you have is a trouble aspect, which is meant to be kind of negative.
Okay.
And so if you could figure out a way to narratively invoke it, it would work the same as a normal one. But the way that you like benefit from it is by compelling it, which is right under invoking on the mat. Basically, you are fishing for a fate token by causing trouble. So you're like, because I don't remember my past. Maybe this person remembers me from one of my past lives and I did something terrible to them, but I don't remember it. You like make up kind of a situation, or I would make it up if I were super on top of all your guys' troubles. I would be compelling you all the time.
Cool.
But you get a fate point for basically making your life and the life of the group disastrous. Or
cool.
more
I'm going to do that just for shits and giggles because we haven't done it before. I'm going to roll clever, and I'm going to use that aspect. Do I have to spend a fate point to use that aspect to use that trouble?
If you're invoking it to get a bonus on your roll, then you would pay for it.
Okay, I'm not doing that.
Okay, if you're compelling it to cause trouble, you don't have to roll.
Oh, cool.
You just kind of pitch it to me, and then I'm like, that sounds bad enough to be a compel, and then I'll give you a fate.
So I'm gonna freeball this, and I'm gonna combine it with a roll. So I don't have any memory of my past lives, but I have seen this place before, and whatever I roll, the information you tell, Keith, is entirely wrong. But we have no idea that it is entirely wrong.
Okay. This is how wrong is it?
Yep. It's a 3 wrong.
A 3 wrong.
It's a good wrong. That's how it works.
Okay.
So I essentially wholeheartedly believe whatever you're saying about this temple.
I do give you a fate token because I'm buying this. You're thinking back. You're sorting through kind of the ghosts of your past memories, because we've already seen that you have kind of seen into the past, but it is through the veil of GM convenience.
Perfect.
So to speak.
Great. Those are my favorite parts.
So you're thinking back, you feel like you recognize this place, and you remember just this kind of overwhelming feeling of dread about this place. You just know that this place is the root of the unmaking of everything.
Oh, cool. So I think that like while everyone's like quietly contemplating the temple, you just hear like the sound of Wesley eating an apple or something, a hyper apple, and you... Oh, I remember. I've been here before. This is like a temple of doom. Oh. Everything in here, I don't think you just die when you walk in, but I'm pretty sure that like this is where all of like everything that's bad comes from. At all.
Wesley, next time could you swallow your food before you start talking?
Yeah. I'm sorry. And then, if you go inside, you'll probably be fine. I think you'll go inside and be fine. Or you could explode into tiny pieces or die, or you just become an undead, and that's fine. I'm all right. But there's also probably going to be secrets in there. Yeah. And if your sister went in, well...
That would explain a lot.
That would explain a lot.
I feel like we maybe shouldn't go in as of live people. Because I don't necessarily want to die. I don't know how the group feels about that, but you know.
Sure.
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing if they needed doors made, but other than that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a great idea, because like if you walk in the door and it kills you, if you make a new door, it doesn't have kill you magic on it.
So
Obviously.
Wesley, you can still die, but then you come back, right?
Nope.
No, he just does. It's complicated.
I die, and then I gotta be brought all the way back to, like, Vesper's kingdom, and then they gotta do something, and then I don't remember anything from the last time, but then I wake up. That's what they tell me every time. And then I don't remember anything that happened before that.
It's weird.
And then you hear, what do I do? And I'm like, no, shut up.
What was that? What does he want to do?
It's Nair. He just says he remembers things from the past, but he doesn't always, and usually he just makes things up and calls me a jerk.
Oh.
A strange bird lands on a rock near you guys that is like bright neon green, and as it turns its head to one side, it has a second head that's turning in the opposite direction and is watching you guys.
Gross.
Okay. Hear me out.
Yeah.
We take the bird.
Okay.
And we throw it through the door and see what happens.
Have you ever caught a bird before?
No, but I'm not supposed to touch anything here, so...
Yeah, I've never caught a bird either.
It opens its beak and the sound of a dial-up modem comes out.
Perfect. Great.
I'm so glad.
32 baud modem.
That is everything I needed. Vesper's gonna just try to find a rock and throw it at the top, like throw it towards the door and see if anything happens.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna, that's a forceful. Hey look, I used forceful, guys.
Yes.
4.
A rock soars through the air. It passes through several of boughs of these trees and creates this strange ripple that closes up behind it. And with a loud, distant clack, it strikes the outside edge of the temple and rolls across the ground. It doesn't seem to be real.
While that was happening, Honey was like trying to get behind the bird to catch it. Like she's just like hunting.
Guys, I don't know if this is real. I just threw a rock at it, and yeah.
Oh.
Wait, the temple's not real?
Yeah.
That's weird.
So like,
no, it hit the temple.
Oh, it hit the temple? Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
So I don't think it'd kill us if we went that way.
Oh.
It didn't kill the rock.
are we not going with the bird first?
Did you catch it?
Can I roll? I'm gonna roll to try to catch it.
For it, yeah.
I'm gonna go with quick. I got a 4. Do I catch the bird?
You sure do, yeah. And I'll give you a boost on whatever this next roll is going to be.
So I'm going to walk up close to the temple and just like throw the bird in.
Excellent.
Which I don't know what kind of roll that would be. I feel like it's a clever roll maybe, or a careful.
Well, as you're walking towards the temple, you see that there is a large door that is so this figure is kind of like the face of the temple, and they're huge, right? And as you're moving closer towards it, there's a gateway that's kind of recessed like by their ankles or whatnot, right? Yeah.
Well, then, if there's a door, I'm going to try to open the door. Which I don't know.
You need any help with the door?
Yeah, it has.
You're much stronger.
It has strange, like, very weird, like circuitry kind of style, like runic symbols and whatnot going on it.
I guess first I'm going to call over and be like, "Hey, Wesley, if I touch this, am I going to die?"
I don't think so.
Do you want to touch it first?
No, I'm already dead.
Oh, yeah, but you can touch things and make sure they're not going to kill me.
Nope, I can't.
Oh, okay.
I can just touch them when you can't.
I press the bird against it.
Against the door?
Yeah.
Both of its heads just open and it squeals out in asynchronous dial-up modem sounds, and it's like flapping its wings and struggling against you, but nothing seems to be happening.
Love it.
The bird has spoken, and it seems to be fine. Now I'm just too weak to open up this door by myself.
I can try.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, I'm gonna try to open up this door forcefully. The only way I know how.
Just make a new door over this door.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Actually, for that purpose, once per scene, if I attempt to forcefully overcome a physical obstacle in my path by trying to break it, you can outcome surge the result. What does outcome surge mean?
It means it kicks it up a notch. So in the outcomes, kind of in the middle bottom, you've got like fail, tie, succeed with style. So if you were to tie, then the outcome surge would kick it up to succeed.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that stunt. Also, it'll place a debris situation aspect on the scene with no free invoke. I don't know. I'm going to try to forcefully do this, and, I'm super strong. That's what this is. That looks like it's a 2.
Ooh, a 2. All right, so you run forward and punch this wall, and it seems for a second that the whole temple facade shakes, and rubble and debris fall down from the front of the statue, and kind of rain down all around you guys and creates this debris. And in the moment that you made contact with the wall, some of these electrical patterns like lit up for a moment. But then you stumble backwards and clutch at your hand because it was very hard, and it doesn't seem to open. However, something terrible happens.
Of course.
Because it is the climactic hook moment of the session. So one of these previously established large boulders near you guys starts to kind of flicker in a strange way, and just like a camouflaged creature, this ripple spreads across it, and a great form is in your midst, not necessarily pinning you, but this is behind you guys. You're all facing the door, and so this thing emerges behind you, aptly fitting as it is a horrifying cake.
Where did you find that?
What?
An artist, Scott Hove. It's an actual like sculpture piece, and it's my freaking birthday, or it was when we had to reschedule.
Oh, that makes so much more sense.
Okay, this is where the cake thing went. That's actually really funny considering how often we've already talked about cake today.
That is true.
I know. I was like, no comment. I can't say anything because I'll spoil it.
I forgot all about that.
So did I.
Cake monster.
Happy belated birthday, Keith!
That's right, guys. Last week was Keith's birthday, and my internet broke. So
Birthday.
It's still my birthday week.
Perfect.
So wait, you chose this cake.
I chose this cake.
What is wrong with you?
More.
If you're into this cake, look up Google Scott Hove, Hove, because he just makes cakes like this, and they're incredible. I've seen them and they're super cool. So it looks like this, and there's like sparkler candles on the top of it that are really intense, and smoke whirling around it. And as you guys all in a state of fright back against the wall behind you, you see it within these cherries all seem to be like eyes.
gross.
Wiggling to face you, and you see within them a glassy, ghost-like images of yourselves. Multiple images in each different eye of yourself, blowing out the candles of different birthday cakes through your years, making wishes, and this creature has seen them all and has stolen your wishes.
This is the wrong kind of cake day.
That's terrible, Keith.
No, that's terrifying.
It's a wish stealer.
I thought we were. Yeah,
Fantastic.
seriously. I love this, and I'm also horrified.
Yeah.
And that's where we leave the lovely crew of princesses for the week.
That's terrible. You're a monster. You're a cake monster.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Keith. We tried to make nice cake. We made cake day a thing.
We did friendly things all day, Keith.
That description was really, really great. Were you planning that, or was that just like from all the cake talk?
No, I planned it. I was like to my wife, I was like, is it crazy if I just make them fight a giant evil cake? And she was like, no, it's your birthday.
Yeah, and that's completely on
like
par
your
with
wife.
all of the rest of the nonsense we've put out this entire campaign.
Yeah, it's pretty it's on brand.
Yeah. Perfect, guys. That was episode 3 of Princesses of Skysea into the Hyperwoods. Next week, we're going to fight a cake. Next week's episode's title is Cake Boss, for sure.
Yes!
That
Good.
being said, let's go around, do our introductions, get the hell out of here, and host a friend of ours. So let's start with we'll start with Keith first. Birthday Keith. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to on this, the finest of birthday weeks?
Yes, I'm Keith. You could find me at Material Components on Twitch or at mcomponents on Twitter, or my personal author educator account is at Keith R. Patempa. I should probably pitch all of my things, right? Not just the D&D things,
Sure.
but I also I run a local after-school program teaching kids heroic morality and nonviolent conflict resolution using tabletop role-playing games and a Powered by the Apocalypse system of our own creation that we are poised for the 4th draft of with hundreds of hours of playtesting with kids age 6 to 12. And we're poised for some closed beta action, so we're stoked about that. And that's me. You can find me at that and the theheroesguild.com for the after school program.
Didn't you just have like a dope article written about you guys being super badasses?
Yeah, we had a couple podcast interviews.
Yeah.
One with Rolling Bones with Ryan Howard, who's a local Nashville D&D podcaster, and another with Uninformed Opinion, some local podcasters who heard their shtick. They just don't know anything about the people that they're interviewing, so they just kind of shoot the shit with them, and it was both were great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's jump over to Sam. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
I am Sam, also known as Harley's Armory. You can find me on Twitter at Harley's Armory. You can also find me on Instagram at Harley's Armory. I am a cosplayer, but I'm mostly just chilling around the internet right now.
Perfect. Let's jump over to Kai. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Hey, I am Stonefly_Kai on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon. I'm about to release my Patreon rewards for this month, and I'm super excited about it. If you're interested in like character sheets or character designs, go over there and check those out. And then the other thing I'm doing is Copper Cantrip, which is a women's tabletop role play game clothing line. And it's just in the beginning, so there's going to be more to come. But if you're interested, that's coppercantrip.com.
Hell yeah. Let's jump over to last but not least, Natalie. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Hi, my name is Natalie, also known as Chaotic Rogue. You can find me on Twitter at Chaotic Rogue. And yeah, I do a lot of streaming, except for none of my streams are happening right now because I'm going to Gen Con like tomorrow. I start leaving. And so I'll be at Gen Con all weekend. If you're there, come find me, come say hi. I'll be there with the rest of the Mage College crew, which is what I also do. I try to make this segue as much as humanly possible. So if you check out themagecollege.com, we do D&D 5e just content. It's really cool stuff. I'm doing an awful job pitching it, but we do really fun different things. We'll be running games all throughout the weekend, and come hang out and say hi to us. I'll be in different costumes and wigs all weekend because that is how I run my life. But
Hell
yeah. I'm excited.
Also, go check out Uncaged
Yes.
Anthology. I can never say the words. Go
Uncaged
check that out.
Anthology.
It's super dope.
Volume 1, I'm in it.
Yeah.
My adventures in it. So yeah.
Super duper cool. With that, guys, if you want to join the conversation, please come check us out on Discord. And if you guys want to help the channel and support us and grow and all kinds of fun stuff, check out that Patreon there. Every dollar counts. That being said, we're going to go raid our friend the Barbernaut. He's playing some Pathfinder, so go check him out and give him all of your hot, sticky raid love. And from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.